Police officers and first responders wear badges to let their communities know they are here to protect and serve. But it comes at a price. Samantha Horwitz and John Salerno work with police departments across the country to bring valuable recovery, insight resources, and workshops. A Badge of Honor TV brings those professionals to you so we can come together and revitalize communities through a better understanding of what's at stake and what's required for repair. So take a load off and turn up your TV. It's about to get real.
Hey, welcome to a Badge of Honor Podcast TV. We are powered by the OBBM Network and coming to you live from Rivershon Park here in Dallas, Texas at the Carry the Load Memorial Day weekend. Sam, it's been an explosive day so far. What are your feelings?
This is my 10th year, so I've been doing this a decade, our third year as nonprofit partners with their Continuum of Care partners, and as always, Carry the Load puts on a meaningful and professional event where everybody can feel welcome, no matter if you're a Gold Star parent or a young person where maybe this is your first Carry the Load with your parents or as a high school or solo on your own.
I saw a lot of kids here today. Big shout out to the troops, the Cub Scout troops and the Boy Scout troops who placed over 1,700 flags out there, out in a walk area. Everybody joined together and just really came together as one big family to make this all work. Everybody's carrying for somebody. When you look at some of those pictures out there, it dates back to even one of the law enforcement agencies back in 1896, who died, one of the police officers who died from gunfire. Now, that's somebody's great-great-grandfather or great-great-great-grandfather. They may be here, and you don't know what that means to them. To see all these people, there were thousands of people here today, and thank God for the Dallas weather being bipolar, because you really stayed well for us today. It was a nice, warm, hot day with some breeze, but you really shine for us this Sunday.
Yeah, I guess this is the first time where people are actually seeing us being all sweaty and sunglasses on, and so let's just give folks kind of a lay of the land of what's going on. So it's called the Step Off has already happened. All right, so we've got a 2.5 mile loop, and they'll be coming back at Rivershon Park, but we've got Steve live on the loop. So we're gonna bring him in. Hey Steve, can you hear us?
I can.
All right.
Now,
Go ahead.
Steve, you were out on the walk. We saw all the thousands of people getting, ready to push off to the walk. What's the vibe out on the walk right now?
What's the what?
What does it feel like? What's the vibe out on the walk?
Oh, it's crowded, and you have the always remember placards, posters every couple of yards, and it's very powerful. Everybody's kind of in unison, walking as one. It's pretty wonderful. And it's pretty windy. I'm just gonna take off my hat.
Yeah, the breeze is you guys are lucky. The breeze kind of died in the park, but can you turn your camera around and maybe show folks? Yeah, there we go. So we've got hundreds, if not close to 1,000 people that have stepped off, and again they're walking a 2+ mile loop in downtown Dallas right now. And then what that means is for those people who are going to continue to walk through the night, they'll come back through here at Rivershon Park and go onto the Katy Trail, where there's another 7-mile loop, and a lot of the folks are going to continue through the night. And one of the most impactful besides Steve, thank you for sharing and being out there with the folks on the walk and the storyboards. One of the most impactful things are the storyboards, and what Carry the Load does is they take the story of a fallen member, whether it be an armed services member or a firefighter, a police officer, another first responder, and they create the storyboard there. Thank you, Steve, for showing us.
Yes.
They create these, and so all along the walk, in and out, inside and outside the park, you are able to read about our fallen warriors and remember them, because John, as you and I have been saying since the beginning of Memorial Night, it is not about mattress sales or barbecues. It's truly about coming together to remember our fallen heroes.
And that's what Carry the Load really for the last 14 years has built, this amazing family-like setting here in Rivershon Park. I mean, it started off very small, and it grew and just keeps getting bigger each and every year. And what I really like about Carry the Load is the money generated through Carry the Load is dispersed through its through its partnerships of other organizations that are still out there helping throughout the year with our veterans and our first responders, be it workshops or therapies or medical care or whatever, equine therapy, whatever it is. So the partnerships that Carry the Load has carries throughout the year. It's not just today on Memorial Day. The money raised throughout this event is spread out 365 days a year to aid our veterans and our first responders, and that is where the meaningful power really comes.
Yeah, and I was talking to a few of the folks from Carry the Load earlier, and so we are completely blessed to be a beneficiary that Carry the Load chose us, and with the funds that we received, this is the first time we're going to announce it publicly for the whole world to hear. But we were able to launch a very powerful new program that goes to help train peer support folks already inside our departments doing incredible work to help them open up and communicate with the first responders if there's a critical incident that maybe are voluntold that they have to go to a debrief. And our program, I mean, from the first one that we put out there, has just absolutely exploded. And we are so grateful for Carry the Load. We can't do what we do without your partnership and without the partnership of all the other, I think 45 or 46 nonprofit partners. If you go onto our website, abadgeofhonor.org, you will see a lot of them. So please, if you're watching this, you're out there and you need some extra assistance, there is no shame at all. Get in touch with us and we can put you in touch with exactly what you're looking for, whether it is traditional couch therapy to planning an outdoor event or retreat for you. And let's, Steve, thank you so much for sharing the step off with us, and we will see you guys back in the park here soon.
Yes. Thanks, Steve.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right.
Another thing that is so amazing about Carry the Load is the networking, the people you meet, and the like-minded individuals that you just run across. And you're like, oh, you guys were at Carry the Load. Oh, you guys were at Carry the Load. And we have the honor, who a very good dear friend of ours, Steve Piper, who plays the bagpipes. He's a retired Chicago police officer who plays the bagpipes for so many different events, from funerals to graduations to whatever event there is. But he came here today to lead off Carry the Load. And Steve, can I bring you on?
Let's John.
So Steve, you've done so many events throughout the, and from the Dallas 9/11 stair climb to the Fort Worth stair climb to all these different major events. What does Carry the Load mean to you, brother?
Well, it means a little bit more this year. My son just enlisted in the Army, so now I didn't grow up my dad was in the Navy, but I didn't grow up in a military family because he was long out of it by the time I was born. But now my son decided to go this route. Obviously, I play a lot of military and veterans events, and you see how important these organizations are to these veterans. Along with first responders, especially with what you've covered, a lot of the mental health and unfortunately the suicides too.
Bringing up the suicides, I see a lot of different therapies from 22-0 is here today, who is a huge help in battling not so much couch therapy, but what's the modality called? It's called
it's TRP.
TRP. TRP. So it's a little different than EMDR or brain spotting. It's a different therapy that truthfully worked for me on some aspects where EMDR failed. So you never give up. You keep trying each therapy session until you find one that's right for you. Now, Steve, I know you've gone through a lot of stuff. Chicago and New York both have had their share of our brothers and sisters taking their own lives due to not being able to cope with the pain. And the therapy sessions or the mental health programs are just not available as they are in other states.
I think, I don't know if I sent you the article recently. An article came out of Chicago and it was titled, "Why Would You Police in a City That Hates You?" Yeah. And it focuses on what first responders see over the years, and they separate that. Somebody asked me, what was the worst thing you saw? Or what are some of the bad things you've seen over the years? And my answer was, I had answers, but when I left work, I went back to my world. That was their world. And a therapist told me that's not good to carry that on for years. And also unfortunately in Chicago over the last 10 years, there's been 53 suicides.
Wow.
Including retirees. And you talk about all the violence. Obviously, the military, when they're deployed, they see stuff that I couldn't even imagine. But the West Side district that I worked back in the early 2000s, their homicide or violent crime rate is higher in Tijuana, Mexico.
Wow, that's hard to believe. We got to take our first break. And so as we go to this break, we're going to play a little bit about the history of Carry the Load. So stay tuned, everybody. We will be right back.
11 years ago, 2 Navy SEALs from Dallas thought this would be a good Dallas idea. A solemn procession of the American names and faces lost in our nation's wars, to remind us all what Memorial Day is really about.
I just really appreciate how much this means not only to Dallas, but the entire nation.
Because the thousands who descend on Reverchon Park Memorial Day weekend are now part of a movement millions strong. 5 relays covering 20,000 miles, spreading the Carry the Load message across the United States, providing financial support for more than 50 organizations dedicated to helping veterans and their families, first responders, police officers, and firefighters too.
Lost many friends in the war, and probably too many to name here, but I carry all of them every day, and we're just humbled and happy to be part of something so great.
I've been able to see veterans move from mourning into celebration and good memories of their fallen comrades. So it's really cathartic and helpful in their process to get through grieving and into celebration.
The moms and dads, the brothers and sisters, the spouses and the children grieving for the loved one they lost will tell you that Reverchon Park on Memorial Day has become a pilgrimage, a place they have to be, a community of people who understand, people who can give them strength to get through one more year.
I'll be here till I can't walk, and this is just something everybody should do at least once, and once you do it once, you can't stop doing it, just like me.
A walk and a Memorial Day mission that they promise will never end. In Dallas, with photographers Alberto Garcia and Sam Cooper. I'm Kevin Reese.
Playing the bagpipes and you're looking. Hey, welcome back to A Badge of Honor TV, powered by the OBBM Network. You can catch us on Roku and Apple live right now. I hope you watch it. And all your streaming networks. We are live from Carry the Load in Rivershon Park in Dallas, where they just stepped off for their 2.5-mile walk. We're here with Steve Piper, retired Chicago police officer, who had the honor of playing the bagpipes, leading these troops out to take this walk. So, Steve, there you go. To play the bagpipes in front of, I guess there had to be at least 1,000 people out there, or close to it. Get nervous, or you're so used to it?
I still get nervous, but you just got to focus on what you're doing. I played at a sold-out House of Blues before. Obviously these line of duty death funerals are big benefits that we've had over the years, especially in Chicago where you have 1,000+ people. You get nervous, but when it's time to go, you put that aside and you just walk.
But this has got a more meaningful vibe as you're looking out at those families going, this is a healing thing, right? And I think that's got to be amazing for you to feel like you can heal so many people. Like people got their eyes on you and they feel it.
The music. Yeah. You feel the bagpipes.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I noticed about this event, a lot of veterans events, a lot of people are our age and a lot older. You have a lot of young people here that are supporting the military and the first responders. A lot of kids, a lot of Boy Scout troops. You have a lot of kids.
A lot of young kids this year.
Yeah, and I think that's great.
Previous.
Yep, I think it's amazing because these kids are going to remember this. They're going to look at the storyboards. They're going to look at the flags. They're going to hear some of the background story, and that molds a good mind. That molds a mind to love America, love the United States, and honor our veterans. Where some of these kids may not be getting that in the school system or out where they live, but they're out here looking to give back, and it makes them feel good. So, God bless our kids.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll share if you guys saw we did a test because we got to make sure that everything works before. But talking about young people, they are our next generation of warriors. Your son stepped up. Thank you so much to him, and to have and meet and have a conversation with the young people out here has been it's a dramatic change. So I happen to have had a conversation with a young man named Luke. He's a scout. He's been here since the very beginning. So Carry the Load Part 1.
Wow.
And his troop was responsible for putting out the flags. Now, the flags that they put out is in memory of a fallen warrior, okay? So year 1, Luke shared with me that it took him about an hour, he and his troop about an hour, to get all the flags out. Now, we're in 2025, and it takes pretty much from all morning, which they open really early, till the opening to get them all out. And we talked about the connection of each flag represents a person that is no longer with us. And for the Boy Scout troops to give of their time to understand that, that's really mature. That's a huge concept to understand. I'm not just placing a flag.
Right.
This is a person.
Yes. Or placing it for a person.
Right.
In memory
of a person. So it was very heartwarming to know that the youngsters out here are being molded. They're showing what actually Memorial Day is all about, and meeting the police officers and talking to veterans.
When you say there's a climate, like a shift in our climate, when Sam said that, it brought to mind the Dallas police officer that we were able to meet with today, who She retired after 40 years of service. And she was riding her bike, and she retired after 40 years of service. And she went back into the reserves of the Dallas PD to be here today.
Oh, no, by the way, she's on a bike unit. She's on a bicycle unit.
But she still wants to give back. You know, that shows something that either Dallas or the leadership is doing something correct for her to say after 40 years, I don't want to give this up. I still want to be part of this. And I still, God bless her. And even like when we spoke to I guess there was sergeants or lieutenants. I mean, he had he had 5 stripes. So each stripe is going for 5-year stripes. So he had 5 of those. He called them his kids. She had, I think, 4 on her.
Yep.
So longevity. You don't see people fleeing the department because there's a connection there, and they see that there's going to be a change, and they want to be part of it. So I you know what? I give that to our leadership of our country, who has really changed the narrative and is giving hope to our first responders and our veterans.
Yeah. You know, we've got to take our next quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more. We are broadcasting live from Carry the Load in Reverchon Park in Dallas. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Look, when you need to respond to an aggressive situation to protect yourself, your family, or your property, understanding your firearm and legal position are critical. Officers know your skills are only as good as your commitment to training. So know what you're doing. So when you're in a vulnerable situation, we can count on your response. Whether you're a beginner or a licensed gun carrier, Carry in Texas offers basic firearms training, Texas permitless carry courses, license to carry, and basic 2A courses so you can understand the responsibilities, situational awareness, and learn the technical skill required when you carry your firearm. Go to carryintexas.com to find the right course for you. Join me, former United States Secret Service agent Samantha Horwitz, on the range for beginner basics, LTC prep, and range practice. Go to carryintexas.com today. That's carryintexas.com.
Hey, we are back live in Reverchon Park at Carry the Load. Welcome back, everybody. We are powered by the OBBM network. And, you know, I'm just looking off in the distance right here. We've got some of the folks that were part of the 2.5-mile step off. They're already starting to come back into the park and continue along the Katy Trail.
Let me see if I can move that camera for a second. Tell me if I can move that camera for a second.
We're gonna pan over and pan a little bit more. So you're starting to see in the distance the stream of people that are continuously walking. So they just completed 2.5 miles, and what they are doing is they are heading to the Katy Trail, and they will continue to walk 7-mile loop on the Katy Trail. So you know, bravo to them. And so you just heard my story about this very impressive young man named Luke, who's in the Boy Scouts, and he's placed flags every single year. Chris, come on down. Take a seat right here. So this is, thank you, Steve. This is Chris Wall. And,
yes.
Welcome to A Badge of Honor TV.
Oh, goodness. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Can you tell people watching and listening on their favorite podcast app a little bit about your story?
Sure. So I am with Troop 303 out of McKinney, Texas. I actually earned my Eagle out of Troop 303 when I was a youth too. And we're honored to kind of help with this because we actually have a Gold Star family member that is in there, a gentleman that I actually grew up with, played soccer with. He was an Eagle Scout as well with our troop. And he's one of these signs over here. Actually, the campsite for the Scouts is named after him, named Brian Smith. So it's we just like to come and help and support however we can. And then, all that fun stuff, I guess.
This morning, I felt so much pride seeing your troop set out those flags this morning.
Right.
Because, it's so nice and refreshing to see a younger generation take so much pride. And I watched them lay out the lines to make sure the flags were straight.
Absolutely.
And it really for what the meaning of a
That's
Memorial Day
intentional,
to me.
yeah.
And it's to watch your kids and your troop do that really kick-started the day for me anyway.
Right. Well, and I'm lucky to have two of my boys here, or both of my boys. They're here too, so to kind of instill that sense of pride and integrity in them as well means a lot as a father and as a scout. To have them a part of this and to understand Memorial Day is more than just barbecues. That there's a reason that we do this.
Yeah. And like I said, God bless. Can we bring? Is that your son?
That's one of them. That's the youngest one. Sure, absolutely.
Come on.
Come on, you guys have matching 10 gallons.
Yes, we do.
All right, so welcome to a Badge of Honor TV. Yes, you're on TV. No pressure.
No pressure. You know, I was telling your dad what an honor it was to see you guys out there today. It made my heart so warm that you guys kick-started this off, and you took so much pride in this. How did it feel for you? I mean, how old are you?
I'm 11.
11. You're 12 for 11. God,
yeah,
you're a tall kid. How did it feel for you to do this?
It's a little nervous because like I haven't done this before. This is my first time. I don't really know.
Well, so it's your first time, which is good. Will you be back next year?
Yes.
Do you think it changes?
That's what it's all about, right there.
But did you learn a lot about what Memorial Day is about and what the flag is about?
No.
The 11-year-old. Go ask the 14-year-old.
No,
that's all right. That's okay.
But
You will.
When you place the flags out, and you guys did a phenomenal job. What did it mean for you to take that flag and just put it in the ground and
Really nothing.
no?
I don't.
Do you think it's something bigger than just you?
Yeah.
But you'll be back next year?
He'll be back next
You know
year.
what?
He'll
Next
be back
year,
next year.
it will change your mind a little bit as you grow and you learn. But on behalf of the thousands of people out of here today, you know what? Thank you for doing what you did. You did your part for so many families. And this is where what this should mean to you is that you touched so many families today that you don't know about. You warmed their heart just by placing a flag in their family's honor. You did that. And they're here today, and we want to say on behalf of Badge of Honor, thank you.
Yeah, we're grateful to
Thank
you all.
Troop 303 for doing what you guys do. Appreciate it.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate you all.
Thank you for being here.
So, what is it? Out of the mouth of babes, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But he'll be back next year.
Yes.
It's a growth journey, right? And that's what it's all about. And we got Steve back.
We got one of the
Come on.
walkers back.
All right, Steve,
We got one of the
come
walkers.
and join us here. Here, take the mic. All right, so Steve, we had the video earlier of Steve out on the 2.5 mile loop that kicks off what we call it the step off for Carry the Load. You showed us the storyboards. How does it feel walking with veterans, with that there's family of the fallen, their moms and dads, sisters, brothers out there, and doing that step off together?
You can see it's just a big family hug. Support. That's what you feel.
Yeah. So just get closer to the mic. And that's what Carry the Load does best, right?
It's a feeling in your heart that you can't get anywhere else. It really opens your eyes to what other people are going through. When we hear of a military veteran being killed in the line of duty overseas, we don't really connect the dots to the family that's left behind. And when you're here at Carry the Load, you get to meet those families. You get to embrace their feelings, and it is so heartwarming to be around them and say thank you for your family member who sacrificed their life for this great country and for us to be able to live the way we do.
It's just wonderful to have veterans and first responders leaning on each other, sharing with each other, just hugging each other with support, that they know that they are not alone.
Hey guys,
That's what
hey,
it's all
real
about.
quick, who you
Hey, what-
carry for today?
4 guys right behind you there.
Here, come
All
over.
right,
Can you come
here.
over on camera?
Yeah,
We are live on the Badge of Honor TV.
Where's the
Yep,
camera?
come over
Do
here.
you do you want to get the camera
Yeah.
on his on
Yeah.
his
So
Hey, come on. Where? Yeah.
How do you want me to do this? I can't really sit down, so I'll just.
That's all right. That's all right.
So, who did you carry for today?
So I'll begin with Master Sergeant Trent. He served with the 3rd Special Forces Group. Amazing individual, killed in action 2012. And then 3 of my other close buddies, Staff Sergeant Drew Gardner, Staff Sergeant Cunningham, and Robert Cunningham, and then Hannah, also serving them as MP. So all of us Army, we appreciate everything you guys are doing. This event's amazing. Thank you all. Thank you all for support and love. So appreciate it.
Thank you. We're gonna show his picture. They're all their pictures on. There we go.
This is what Carry the Load is all about. It's never forgetting. It's saying their names and remembering them into eternity, so they don't have to die twice. We remember them, their sacrifice, and what they mean to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so we got to take our next quick break, and we will be right back after these station messages.
All right.
Leftovers again. It's time for something we haven't had in a long time. It's time for something right. It's time to make the right choice. OBBM Network TV is always the right choice. Choose right.
Hey, welcome back to a Badge of Honor TV, live from Rivershawn Park at the Carry the Load Memorial Day weekend kickoff, where right now we are seeing people come in. They're starting to make their way to the Katy Trail from the 2.5-mile walk they did, because like you heard from our last guest, we are all carrying for somebody. I was carrying for my brothers with the 7-7 precinct today. Sure, Sam, you're carrying for people within your realm.
We have the 412 first responders who we lost on September 11th.
Even my wife, Tara, she's carrying today for her cousin, Gerard Duffy, who was lost in the tower attacks. So everybody here is carrying for somebody. And you know what that means is that person is on our mind. We're remembering them. And we're praying for them and thanking them.
Interrupt with a very special
Yes.
guest.
Okay.
What do we got going on over here?
Hey, Clint.
How are
Here,
y'all?
take
Come on.
on.
I'll try to sneak in here.
Take-
You see that flexibility?
Take a seat. All right. We would not be here. This event would not be happening if not for this man right here, Clint Bruce, the founder. One of the founders was Stephen Holley of Carry the Load. We are talking about the event today. We just interviewed a veteran who's caring for his fallen brothers.
That's incredible.
And
all these stories are incredible. And that's kind of my whole thing. My whole thing was, I've always thought my daughters, like, you can't avoid anger. And things are going to make you angry, but you can choose. Once you have that anger, you can make it righteous or reckless with what you do with it. And for me, Carry the Load is really about trying to make that anger righteous instead of letting it stay reckless. I mean, everybody knows the whole story, man. When I started humping on it was a Memorial Day after Red Wings, and I was just so angry. And my wife told me, she's been with me for a long time. She goes, "Hey, do something about it or get over it, right?" And so I put a pound in my pack for every person I lost, and I just kind of walked. And what I found is that good pain started pushing out the bad pain. And had this amazing conversation with a World War II veteran, and just kind of realized other people ain't going to do this too. And I love two things. I love sharing with you the people I miss, and I love learning about who you miss too. And that's really what this whole is. This is walking and talking and asking and listening and I want to make people miss the person they didn't know, but who thought they were worth dying for. And when you have stuff like that, it just becomes, this is so much bigger than, I was just trying not to be mad every day. And this is,
Did you ever expect after 14 years for it to be this huge and such family orientated?
No, mechanically, no. I did have, I had great confidence in people. I've been all over the world and been to some of the worst places in the world. And the worst place I've been, I've always found great people So I knew I wasn't alone. I knew I wasn't the only one that would want to do Memorial Day better, but I don't think I could have envisioned like this structure, this organization, and this participation. And, you know, someone and I we were just talking a little while ago, like how I love that my daughters don't remember not doing Memorial Day well. They've never not done Memorial Day well. And you know, being out on the relay, I've walked with, I just had this experience this last year. I used to fly out and I'd carry the kids of my friends that I'd lost and tell them about their dad. And I just got a text from one of them who's walking with their kid.
Oh, wow.
And one, that made me feel super old. But two, it was just really powerful. It was really powerful. And they shared with me how much it meant to them to know their dad wasn't going to get forgotten. And, you know, I lost my dad when I was young. And when I run into people who knew my dad from 1991, it fills a hole in my soul that not many other things can. So this is really special.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that we talk about every year is Vietnam.
Yeah.
And,
man, that was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
You know, having this, when we started having, I remember my last year before I really kind of turned it over to Stephen, reconciling with the Vietnam generation is a really big deal. And every time I get to go and speak, a lot of times I'll ask the Vietnam veterans to stand and I'll tell them three things. I'm sorry, thank you, and welcome home. I'm sorry that they came home the way they did. I've never had to experience that. I've never had to even fathom it, right? And then I tell them thank you because they innovated warfare. I mean, you know, 911 as we know it now, air cav. I mean, all these doctrines and these TTPs and SOPs that we have now, the Vietnam generation created it, curated it, right? And then I always say welcome home, and it shocks me to this day how many times a Vietnam veteran will tell me that's the first time someone's told them welcome home. So I don't think we can do it enough, and I don't think we do it loud enough, and I don't think we do it fast enough, but that's a big deal.
Well, you know what? It's making a difference, and I will say I'm seeing more Vietnam veterans donning caps and say, hey, that was me. So if you're out, if you're shopping, wherever you are, you see a veteran, go up to them, shake their hand.
Yeah, that Vietnam veteran's wearing it for a reason, man. He or she, and you know, and they may be wearing it out of anger to say, yeah, I served, but man, that anger gets quenched when you go up and you go tell them thank you. So yeah, I love that. That generation is owed a lot.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Carry the Load is changing the perception of a lot. You're changing the perception of our military members. You're giving them thanks. You're changing the perception of Memorial Day, which was lost. A lot of people like the mattress sales and the barbecues and stuff. You have, I would say, a few thousand people here today.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah, they told me they think it was like maybe 10,000. Yeah.
10,000. And over the weekend, you know what? All these people here could have been at family barbecues. They could have went on road trips.
It's incredible.
But they chose to be here.
We have people that come in from the lake. Like they go out to the lake on Friday, they come in on Sunday, and they do this, or they come in on Monday and they finish it out. I mean, man, coming back to Dallas on a 3-day weekend and this kind of lake culture we have on the first weekend of summer just means a lot. And I hear so many people tell me they can't remember not doing Memorial Day this way, and they just know they're doing it better now. And like for me, it's just the problem is I try to be incognito, which is somewhat impossible.
Yeah.
Although there are a bunch of other large, ugly, bearded men around here. So if I ever have a chance for anonymity, it's here because there's ugly, large, bearded men here. But I just love sitting back and watch. I was hiding behind the JP Morgan tent. And I don't know how Stephen Holley does this. He just kind of senses me like it's a Highlander or the Force. And he's kind of zeroed. Then he texts me. He's like, get up here. I just love sitting back here and watching. And I love watching the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I love seeing everybody up here. But when I see young kids and older people up here, it's really special.
You know, I'm looking out just at some of the people now.
Yeah.
You know, this young mom.
Families. The whole family.
The whole family's here. And this is their
That's
Memorial Day, man. You cannot feel that power in your heart. I mean, it's huge.
Well, and I wish did y'all get a chance to go on the relay at all? Have y'all ever been out on the relay?
Yes, we came through Rockwall.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude,
you change the route a little bit because construction. We don't want people to get hit by
some
cars.
of these kids that were on the relay. That's one of my favorite things to do today. Is I go, hey, give me a favorite moment from the relay, and the stories I hear, they just blow me away. 3 of the gals that were on the East Coast relay, they were talking about coming through Oklahoma, and they were at the Murrah Building Memorial And they're like, hey, should we change the flags to Texas and change the storyboards? And one of the girls was like, no, let's just leave it. And she couldn't really explain why. All of a sudden, this lady came up to her and she's like, hey, what is this? And she told them about carry the load. And she goes, do you want me to carry anybody? And the lady gave her a name, and the name was already on her backpack.
Oh, no way.
And she goes,
Whoa.
and she pointed, and they had a storyboard up.
Oh, my God.
And this gal and him had served in Iraq together before he was killed. And I mean, that's just when I call those God nods, man.
Yeah.
Like, God's never going to make things so clear that we don't need faith, right? But sometimes he gives us a nod where we're like, all right. The fact that, hey, who are you carrying? And she just gives this name, and it's the name that's on her backpack at the time. And then she turned and pointed at the storyboard. And I guess that gal is texted every day and is volunteering next year. It's just incredible. Really special.
It really is. Well, this has been another, we got tomorrow to go, but another phenomenal carry the load and another one bringing our nation closer to the true meaning of Memorial Day, and we cannot thank you enough.
I mean, I think people are, sometimes you just get shut off the news and the radios and stop listening to people who get paid to talk and just ask a question and give an answer, and you'll find out that we're not that far apart.
You got that right.
I love this. Thank y'all for letting me sit down and crash y'all's party.
And you are very welcome. You can come
appreciate it.
All the American flag.
It's
going
incredible.
out of the load.
The whole thing's incredible.
And all the kids so patriotic.
Yeah.
Every kid has a little flag on their arm or on their shirt.
It
on
feels
their hat.
nice right now too.
Yes.
That feels really good.
I've been using the towel all day.
Yeah, the chamois.
Icing it up.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great time. Thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you, sir.
I'll steal yours.
Appreciate it. God
Thank
bless.
You guys. Thanks everybody who's watching.
Thank you,
God bless.
Clint, so much.
See if I can
Get yourself out of there.
See if I can get this gracefully and look cool.
Oh, all right. That was good.
All right.
All right.
Wow. Well, I don't think we can do much better than
The founder.
closing out a show with the founder of Carry the Load. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for your continued support. You can still give to Carry the Load. It's super easy, and I'll tell you how to do it right now. You go to our website, abadgeofhonor.org. There's a pop-up. Click on the pop-up, direct donate to Carry the Load. Through that, you can donate. I think it'll be shut off tomorrow after closing ceremonies. So go to abadgeofhonor.org, make your donation. Every penny counts because it comes right back to the Continuum of Care partners, which means it goes to help veterans and first responders. For Sam and John, this is a Badge of Honor TV live at Carry the Load at Reverchon Park in Dallas. Until next week, everybody.
Peace.
Peace out.
A Badge of Honor podcast is produced for the OBBN Network podcast and protected under copyright law. For content permissions, please submit your request to abadgeofhonor.com on the content page. For OBBN Network programming information, please call 214-714-0495 today.